Hello students, welcome to this video on the performance of the vehicle. This is the second part of the first chapter. The first topic of this part is resistance to the vehicle motion. In this part, we will understand about the performance of the vehicle on road conditions, in which we will know when vehicle is being driven, then which factors does affect its performance, and also the power which we need to generate in the vehicle to keep it in the running condition. The first one is resistance to vehicle motion. There are mainly three types of resistance which vehicle faces during its driving or when we are starting the vehicle. The first one is the rolling resistance. The second one is the air resistance, or we can say aerodynamic resistance, and the third one is the gradient resistance. The first type, rolling resistance. Rolling resistance is the resistance due to the deformation of the road and the tire dissipation of energy through the impact, which means when we are driving the vehicle on any road condition, then tire surface and road surface will try to deform each other. As we know that road is a rigid construction, so that the tire will not be able to push it in the downward direction. Because of that, in the upward direction normal force will be created, and in the opposite direction of the force resistance will be created, which will oppose the motion of the vehicle. That resistance is known as the rolling resistance, and it is mainly affected due to the friction between the road and tire surface. The rolling resistance will depend on the nature of the road surface and the nature of tire, which means the way we are using our tires is also dependent how much rolling resistance will be applied on the vehicle. And also, rolling resistance is generally directly proportional to the weight of the vehicle, considering all the impact loads acting on the vehicle during the different conditions. Impact loads can vary according to the different conditions of the vehicle. Also, the weight of the drivers and passenger are applicable to that. So in this image we can see the formula of the rolling resistance, which is Rr is equals to Kr into mg, where mg is the weight of the vehicle, in which m will be known as the mass of vehicle and Kr will be known as the constant of rolling resistance. The value of the constant of rolling resistance will depend on the nature of the road surface and the nature of tire. Depending on that, value of the Kr will vary. The second one and the most important one for the vehicle's resistance is known as air resistance or aerodynamic resistance. The resistance to the vehicle due to the aerodynamic constraint. For example, when vehicle is getting driven and because of the air medium or high dense air, the vehicle will face an opposing motion to the vehicle motion, which will be known as the air resistance. Generally, air resistance has two types, which is known as drag force and lift force, from which drag force is the one which opposes the motion of the vehicle. Lift force is the one which acts from the downward direction towards the upward direction into the vehicle, which doesn't stop the vehicle's motion, but it is the resistance to vehicle to avoid the collision during the rollover. The formula of the air resistance, in that we can see the value of Ra is equal to half CD into AV square, in which A is the frontal project area of the vehicle, which means the area which comes into the contact with the air medium while vehicle is driven. Second, V, which is the velocity or speed of the vehicle. And the third one is the coefficient of discharge. Coefficient of discharge will be dependent on the shape of the vehicle and also on the density of the air medium. In this figure, we can see the forces acting due to the aerodynamic considerations in the case of the vehicle. There are two mainly forces shown here, that is drag force and lift force. and because of the drag force, downward force here shown is also applicable during the vehicle driving condition. How this drag force actually occurs on the vehicle? Let's see that. Assume the vehicle is going in this direction, and when vehicle is passing by the air medium, the airflow, which is shown by the arrows around these green, yellow and red colors, that air direction or air streamlines will be cut due to the car shape. That streamlines cutting action will create a different streamline air at the rear part of the vehicle. When air is cut due to the car, the air streamlines will create an air vortices in the rear part of the vehicle. Here in the rear part of the vehicle, the light blue color shown that it is the air vortices created by the air vehicle. That air vortices has the lower pressure compared to the air atmospheric pressure. The air into the front part of the vehicle will have atmospheric pressure. The air behind the vehicle will have lower than atmospheric pressure. So according to the pressure law, vehicle will move towards the high towards from higher pressure to lower pressure side. Because of that, vehicle will face and resistance into its backward side, which has been shown here by the arrow of drag. Lift force is applicable from the downward side of the vehicle. The more the ground clearance, the more will be the lift force. As we saw in the last slide, that the value of drag force or air resistance is mainly dependent on the speed of the vehicle. Also, it, it is proportional to the square of the speed of the vehicle. So as the speed increases, the aerodynamic resistance increases considerably. So for example, if we are driving on the highway road, then to drive the vehicle with all the windows closed and by using the air conditioning system, it will be more economical to drive the vehicle rather than driving the vehicle by keeping our windows open. If we will keep the windows open during the high speed driving, then more air will be cut here and more air streamlines will be cutted, and at the rear part the value of drag force will be increased. Also, in the case of the vehicles which are SUVs, vans, in that case the ground clearance is more. Because of that, the value of lift force will be increased. So if the lift force is too much higher, then there are chances of the vehicle getting rolled over while turning. So to avoid it, in fact, to avoid that problem, the SUV and vans are straightened from the back side. Here we can see that some angle has been given to the rear side of the vehicle. But in case of the SUV and vans, the vehicle is more straightened from the back side. Because of that, the air streamline will create more drag force from the behind, and because of that the value of down force will be increased. So to balance the lift force in case of the SUVs and vans, the down force is increased. That is why the shape of the van and SUVs are kept generally towards the straighter side from the back side. Here are some examples for the coefficient of discharge in the last column, which has been shown by the CD. CL is the coefficient of the lift force. Let's consider the more important value of the CD, coefficient of discharge. If we see the first figure in which the low drag, which means that this shape is known as the teardrop shape. This shape gives the lowest value of the coefficient of discharge, which is given by 0.04. If we try to make the vehicle like the shape shown in the second column, that will give the coefficient of discharge around 0.15. But in case of our normal general automobile, the value of CD gets increased towards 0.35, which is very considerable amount, and aerodynamic resistance takes more part towards the higher fuel consumption. If we keep the value of coefficient discharge higher than 0.5, then our vehicle will have very low fuel average and consumption will be higher in based of the fuel. And generally, the value of the coefficient of drag in our normal cars vary between 0.3 to 0.45. That is variable depending on the shape of the vehicle. Generally, for the hatchback and sedan cars, the value of the drag of coefficient varies between this value. The lowest drag coefficient which has been achieved till now in the car of the Mercedes A-Class, that is a sedan type car, it is the value which is 0.22. That is the value which we can be achieved in the normal vehicle. Also the vehicle which we are using for the racing cars, that also has the low value of the drag coefficient. For that the vehicle can only be attained high speed if we can manage the value of aerodynamic drag to the lower value. Next and third one is the gradient resistance. The gradient resistance will be effective when the vehicle is going on an uphill direction or on any gradient road. The value of the resistance is mainly dependent on the weight of the vehicle and the angle of the grade. The resistance or the resisting force which prevents the car from moving uphill direction when the car is climbing on the gradient road is known as the gradient resistance. The value of gradient resistance here shown in the figure we can write as Rg will be equals to W into sine theta, where W is the weight of this vehicle and theta is the angle which is made by the gradient road. The gradiability of the vehicle is known as the ability of the vehicle to climb the gradient road. Generally, the gradiability of the vehicle is around 45 degrees, which means that the value of theta is, if it is around 45 degrees, then the vehicle will be able to climb without getting back or without rolling in the backward direction. If the value of W sine theta is more than the vehicle's effort, then vehicle will start moving in the backward direction and we will have to generate an extra power to keep the vehicle into uphill direction and to keep its motion into the uphill direction. The value of sine theta can also be written as h by L, which has been shown in this figure here right side. H will be the highest height of the gradient road and L will be considered as the length of the gradient road, which is been given by the length of gradient. Theta angle can be between 45, 40, 20. If the angle of theta is more steeper, which means if it is greater than 50 degrees, then the normal vehicles will face the problem of climbing that grade and the vehicle can roll back itself. Generally, also there are vehicles available which can even climb the 80 degrees steeper grades, but all those have some special arrangements given in them. For example, if we talk about the four-wheel drive cars, then those cars can climb more higher angle than our normal two-wheel drive cars as it has higher road adhesion condition. So if we can see that on mostly hilly areas, or if we go to any tourism where there are mainly hilly areas or mountains, then to climb that roads, we mostly use the cars with four-wheel drive arrangement, which is easier to drive and it will not roll itself into the backward direction. So these are the main three resistances vehicle faces while it is driving. First one was rolling resistance, second one was air resistance, and third one was gradient resistance. So our power which was generated by the vehicle should be higher than all of these three resistances. Only after that the vehicle will be able to move from the steady condition, and also this power should be given to keep the vehicle into motion.